Hey, what's up guys? It's Topshelf here. Welcome to another video. So today I've got a complete OBS best settings for 2018. So first off, before anything, you can go to the link in the description to obsproject.com. You're going to want to download OBS Studio. So if you come here and click download, you can click it from the front, but if you do have Apple or something else other than Windows, you can just click download installer, and then just download it, run it, do everything about that, and then go into OBS Studio, and then I'll show you all the settings once you're done downloading. So guys, when you finish downloading, you're gonna not have any of these scenes, other CSGO stuff like that. You're gonna want to go to settings, and you can make scenes, customize it how you want for your streams. If you're just recording, leave it blank or whatever you want, put in the face cam. But what you're going to do, you're going to want to just general. When you do it, it does do default, and I think that's just a bit too bright, so you can do this, which this is just weird, Ratchny, but you can do dark. I like it. It's not as hard on the eyes. And just keep this pretty much all the same. It should be, all the same. You're going to want to, if you're streaming, just go in, put your stream key where you're streaming to. Then go to output. Now this is where all the best settings, this is what'll give you the best quality. So here for streaming, by the way, when you do output mode, you want to do advanced. When you do streaming, encoder X264, this is basically, NVENC is using your graphics card. This is using your CPU, so you want to use your CPU. You can rescale output if you are, not streaming at your native resolution. Rate control, you want to use CBR, which is constant bit rate, and then for your bit rate, you want to do 4500, depending on where you're streaming to, if it's YouTube or Twitch, and what settings you are. This is 1080p 60 FPS. This shouldn't have you lag. Use 4500. If you have not as good internet, or your computer's not as good, you can lower that to 3500 or 2500. But if you have a good computer, like I have a 6700K processor, a pretty good graphics card, then you're going to want to use 4500 for the best possible settings. Keyframe interval, you just want to set that to 2. CPU usage, basically the higher you go, the less it's going to be. So if you go to placebo, that's going to be insane quality, but it's going to push your CPU very high. It's going to be very hard on it. So if you do have a monster PC, not just a normal gaming computer, you need an insane, I'm saying $5,000 plus on your computer, then you can use placebo, but I definitely don't suggest it for streaming. You either want to use faster or very fast, depending on how good your computer is. Profile, you want main, and then just leave the rest none, and then just leave this blank. And these should give you the best stream settings while you're streaming. Now recording's a lot different. It's not as hard on your internet because you're just recording locally. You can here go over to recording, depending on how many audio tracks you have. By the way, for streaming, you just want to use your one audio track. It's all going out to the same place. But recording, if you want separate audio tracks, one for your Skype, your mic, your game volume, then set that up for however many things you have. Recording format, I just use MP4 because it's easiest. If you want to use FLV, so then if it crashes, you'll still have everything. Down here is where everything gets kind of tricky. You're going to use CRF instead of CBR, and if you do want to use CBR, just use 1000, and then custom buffer size 0. And then, but I don't suggest using CBR. Use CRF. Now, depending on how good your computer is, you can set this to 5 or 7 or 10, depending on how good your computer is. This is what it's going to do. So basically, how the CRF works, it's going to push your computer to the best settings you can get, and it's going to pull all that bit rate out, and it's going to give you the highest quality. I'll put on screen, I guess, a little clip of some gameplay of a very high demanding graphics game. I don't know what game. I'll get some gameplay, but this will show you how good the settings can be.
Humans are social animals. They can't live alone.
You know, run your games at like high settings. If you have a good computer, obviously do ultra, but if you don't, set it down to 7 or 5, and then, you know, keep your settings on high for the game, because this is going to help your computer just push out as much good graph. I don't know how to put it, but it's going to push your computer to the limit. You know, don't do it too high. Don't do like 20. That's insane. Just do 10. Keyframe interval, obviously 2. And CPU usage, you're going to want to use ultra fast and profile high. Just trust me on this, guys. This is going to give you the best possible quality. As you can see from that example, this is just going to give you the best quality. Trust me on it, guys. I know what I'm doing here. I've been using OBS for 3 or 4 years now. I've tested all sorts of settings. Obviously, along the line, if my settings do change, I'll make a video. This is what I use just because they are the best that I know of right now. But once you're finished all that, you can go to audio, set up your speakers, where your audio is coming from. So speakers, set up your mic. So the Audio Technica AT2020 is my microphone. You know, it may be Blue Snowball, it may be like your Astros. You know, if you do have a headset that does use a microphone, you should have 2 ports, audio and like microphone audio. You're going to want to plug that in. That should show up, but these are Sennheiser HD598s. These don't have microphones. These are a high quality headset, but I may be doing a video in the future talking about like a microphone that you can attach to your headsets. I don't know, just stay tuned for that, and then just leave that all the same. Obviously, you can delay your audio in the mixer settings if you are using an older Elgato. I'll leave the card on screen how to set up your Elgato in there. Video base resolution, so whatever your main monitor is. Mine's 1920 by 1080. It's an Asus monitor. You know, some may be 1280, but if you're recording in 1280, then you can do output scaled resolution and turn it down to 1280. And then this here, you can choose bilinear or bicubic. I use Lanxos because it's the sharp is crisp, sharp scaling, so your edges look good on your gameplay. FPS, you can use 60, 30, depending on what you want to upload in. Just do 60, even if you don't want to upload it. Your file sizes may be a bit big, so I say if your video's above 15 minutes, then use 30, but if it's below 15, then use 60, just so the file size isn't as big. But this will give you good quality, crisp, clear. Even if you are going to upload it in 30 FPS, just put it to 60 and then render your video out in 60. Hotkeys, you can set it up however you want, you know, start recording or, you know, changing scenes. And then here in advanced, process priority high. You want this high because you want to use OBS. You want it to use as much of your, if you have Google or Spotify, like here I have Spotify open, you know, this is gonna put it above most things. It should keep the game, you can put above normal. I just keep it high. I believe that's what it normally is, but this will keep it at the top so that it is using the most CPU. Just don't change a lot of this stuff. It comes in when you download it perfectly. So Direct3D 11, NV12, 709, full for this, for your like color and stuff, and then just keep the rest you know, as it is. But don't, guys, you see what I'm doing here? I'm scrolling. Don't scroll when you're hovering over things. Like if you're hovering over MV12 and click it off, or like you go over something, you don't want to scroll, because you can see that changed it. So once you're done, click apply. You should be good. You know, obviously set up your scenes however you want it. Game capture, like here, I'll come over to my thing. My face cam's not showing because it's using my other recording, but you know, I got the sub counter. I've got my like gameplay in the back. I've got these browser sources, which are like the alerts for when people sub and follow and donate. And you know, just if you want a complete guide on how to set up your stream to look as nice as possible, 15 likes, guys, and I will make that video. But yeah, guys, hope this did help you out. If it did, hit that like button, subscribe. But as always, it's been Topshelf, and I'm out, guys.
Gas on deck, let me grind on them. Just caught a flight to the town on them. My niggas ain't fighting, got the iron on them. No. She gave my rubber head, put the mind on them. Press a nigga out like I'm ironing them. Fuck signing with them, nigga, man, I'm signing them. bitch, I'ma ride for guns and bills, glocks and scales. I'ma shoot a bitch, I might go to hell. I know